Good afternoon, guys. I thought it was time to revisit these gateway pieces real quick. A lot of people have recently subscribed and a lot of you guys haven't seen these ones yet. So this is the drawing for this character here. And you can see him in the brown. So you put it like this and the color all kind of blends together. But if you can see in the shade there how he is a brown fella. He's got his painting for his eye and his open mouth, and he has this giant bird hat on with the eye for the bird hat right there. And different distances help, so if you're using your phone, you can pull it away and bring it closer, and that'll help see the image. So the black is outlining the image on this arrowhead shaped stone. And this one's tough for some people to see. Maybe if we put it like this, you might be able to see the character there. So you can see the eye, maybe the nose is in there, but he's got a yelling mouth. And he's got this giant bird hat on. The yellow indicates the beak and the bill of this giant Toucan Sam hat. So hopefully you guys are seeing him pretty well. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few more. This is the girl statue. You can see how her eye or pupil is right here. This is her nose and her mouth is right there. And the rest of this is just her hair. She's drawn out right here. You can see how the top turns into a bird as well. And that's the theme here in North Carolina. We're very lucky to have these very defined artifacts here. The different distances again will help with this one, but you can see how when you tilt it, it becomes the perfect portrait. So you see this tab sticking out. That's another profile in there. But when we tilt it, you can see how the head gets completely round. And you can see how the eye is right there, and the nose, and then the mouth. And her face, the line for her face kind of is right here where the stone starts to get a little more rougher. And you can see how her neck is right here. If you're not seeing it, just take a look and it will pop right out at you. It takes a little while to see it, but this is the girl's face right here. Just right in this section. And if you look closely there, the bird, the eye for the bird is right there. And her eye, the girl's eye, turns into the beak for the bird on top of the head. So if you're not seeing the girl, you might at least be able to see the bird. It's really nice, a really nice portrait here. It's a beautiful one. Let me give you another look at this to kind of get a little bit of a comparison there. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one here. This is another one that we found together on camera. I thought it was just this big profile image on the right, but while shooting a video several months ago, I found that this is a fella as well, facing to the left. So he has a big hat on, and his eye is right in here, and his nose and his mouth. So he has this feather headdress on. You can see how it ripples and ridges. He's got like a turban kind of puffy hat on the top there, but that is actually a bird as well. I've got him kind of drawn out over here in the back, as you can see. So that's it's kind of a bad drawing, but that's pretty much what it represents. So his face is just in this section right here. Just from here to here is his face. And so if you look closely though, there's actually a bird. So again, just like this girl, the top of the hair turns into a bird. So it's probably a full bird. So we can probably cover this up like this. And you can see how just on the top, you have the round head of the bird, and then the wing comes back here. Of course, it is a right side portrait as well, but this one is photorealistic. I mean, it looks just like a picture or a Polaroid picture. So that'll probably help to see some of the paint in there for the eye when we face him at us just a little bit. So you can see this character here staring right at us. Just trying to give you a little bit of time to look at these because they don't jump right out at you necessarily. There's a cheekbone right here, the chin line. And again, pull that phone away and bring it closer. That will help. Let's go ahead and take a look at this girl here. It's another statue of a woman. And you'll notice the same things happen with her. You can kind of see what she represents and the side of the profile there that she's sitting in. So as we tilt her, we can kind of make that profile image a little bit better. Now these are just the main outside images. The bird's popping out here. You can see the black recessed beak. So the beak is just recessed down there just a little bit. It's a little bit of a different color, if you can see. And then you can see how this lady has a ridge eye, so it's the eye that is underneath the ridge there. You can see how there is a pupil, and the details for the eye are in there. This is representing a woman. On the back of it, it is still painted. This might be an easier portrait perhaps for you guys to see because there are the carvings here that you can see. And the facial features come out a little bit better on this one, but you can see how the hair was left to be white all the way down. And then the face is just darkened there. And so we can tilt her up and down in little different ways and see how these little juts poke out. Those juts may be able to represent lips in some which way if you get it just right. That's how this art works. It's an interactive art. You have to tilt it around and move it around. It's a 3D art. Lots of different images in one here. So now that we're learning the style of the art a little bit, you kind of know what to expect. Here's a man. This is a stone that's carved into the image of a man. He also has another bird on the head again as well. That is the theme. So I think this one is just a bird head. We'll go ahead and take a little bit of a look at him. He also has some shelf eyes and things too. In different ways and different distances. We'll create different characters. This is a pretty good shot of him. You can see the bird beak right here. Of course, the fella's nose, and then his eye is in here, and then he's got his open mouth right down here. I'll move him around just a little bit for you so you can see and get him up a little closer. It's a tougher one to see, for sure. Go ahead and take a quick scan around this one, see what else we might be able to find. So here's a nice little image here on the crystal, on the white section. And these are all pieces of white quartz. So all these pieces that we're looking at today are crystal. But there was an image here that popped out. You guys might be able to see it better than I can right now. Very interesting one. You can sure get lost in these. Definitely. This is what they did before TVs. This is how they recorded their history. They couldn't carry around 15 different stones, so they put all these images on one stone. This is a very beautiful full bird artifact. We'll go ahead and move it around a little bit so we can get some more color going on for it. But he is just I guess, what kind of bird might he be? If you look at the colors, you can see the brown, the black, and the red. This would be the beak for this bird. Probably a cardinal of some sort, maybe. It's a little tough to see right now, but he has this recession for his beak. And the reason why it doesn't look like just one thing, like we say, because he has several other things too, right? So let's go ahead and take a look and see if we can see this left side portrait here. This left side portrait is pretty fun because he's got a big old open mouth that comes out. You can see how that eye is ridged. It's another one of those ridge eyes. And so you poke that nose out and it creates a character. You'll be able to see some of the carvings and things too in the shadows. You notice how that shadow kind of shadows over the eyebrow there and makes that eye look a little more lifelike, perhaps. On this edge, I believe I'm seeing the mammoth trunk, but this one's a little heavy, so we'll go ahead and move on to the very last one here, and that's the gateway. You guys have pretty much probably all seen the gateway. I'll show you what he looks like nowadays, just to show you how the paint has faded on him. He does have carvings for eyes though as well, but this is the status of the gateway. He has holes in him as well to put feathers in the back of his headdress. And of course he's got his arrow there pointing at the portrait. They knew that this was going to be a hard art to see, so they created these little arrows and hints so that we'd be able to learn it. And you can see the chip here on the gateway to show you that these are painted. That's just a chip off of the crystal there, and you can see the interior color of that crystal. This is a very neat piece, And when I first found this piece, in this portrait right here with this very defined eye, there were eyelashes stuck into this stone, coming out about 5 millimeters, very long eyelashes, and they looked like actual eyelashes as well. Now, how does hair stay preserved for this long? Well, not exactly sure. And to be honest, I'm not sure how old these things really are. I believe that some of these aren't as old as we might think. I think that, you know, this country has only been in existence for 3 generations. It's only been a little over 200 years that we've all been here. Just keep that in mind. This is an antler pulled out. It's just a shedded antler. I'm gonna try to make it into something. Maybe I'll sand it down and polish it and give it a look. It was just on the surface there. It's just something I found out there. I'm gonna look at one more guy here. This is a medicine man. At least that's what I'm calling him. He's got quite a few things on him, so let's just go ahead and take a look at him and do a little interpretation. So I like the right side portrait, but fortunately the light's not really set up for the right side portrait. But you can see how the lips and the chin come out here, and then the nose, and his eye's gonna be inside here. You guys check out the featured channels list if you're interested in seeing some more people do this kind of stuff. We have lots of very cool and nice individuals, some very intelligent people there on the featured channels list that are showing art in their areas from all different places. So we've got people all over the country and actually all over the world showing these. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll speak with you again soon. Bye-bye.